It's Friday night. It's 10 o'clock. Well, 10:18. You know we always late. But y'all know what it is. It's Bandit and it's the Detroit. What up, though? Y'all know how we start every show. I'm going to introduce the people that's here, starting with the lady of Detroit Fan Report and Lions Fan Report, Tori.
Hi. How are you?
How you doing, Tori?
Good.
Beautiful Friday night. A little nice hot day. What other way to end the day? Let's talking sports. Y'all know who he is, and he got his partner in crime, Scott.
What up, though, everybody? Welcome to a fabulous fucking another Friday night. Got John here, featuring my boy Mike. He's actually the quarterback for our football team here in Jackson for our semi-pro team. So shout out the Battle Hawks, baby. Shout out the Jackson Battle Hawks. Again, welcome to What Up, though, Detroit. Another Friday night special like normal.
So you got Henry Hooker in the background.
No, he's not. No, he's just the quarterback. Just the quarterback.
Hey, it's QB1 right there.
Just the quarterback. So
we were supposed to have Mike on here, but he had technical issues, so we'll see if we work that out next week. But we know we got my other brother help me out with everything. Luke G, what up, though?
What up, though? Let's go, man. Listen, it's been a while since I've even been on the video, so hey, I'm ready to talk some ball.
Welcome, brother.
Welcome
back. Well, welcome to Detroit Fan Report. You was on Bandit Sports, so welcome to Detroit Fan Report. All right, let's get ready to these topics, man. If y'all haven't seen, Jared Goff been getting his respect. And what I say that is, if y'all didn't watch the Cam Newton show, this is what Cam had to say about Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. 4 years, 212 million, 170 million guaranteed. Number one overall pick is the highest paid Lion in franchise history. Damn, they're passing out them dead presidents.
It's well deserved, though.
For sure.
I listen, Detroit, y'all get my blessing. Not that y'all cared anyway, but I'm gonna let y'all motherfuckers know something anyway. Because this is why I respect Jared Goff. Because I've said it many times. Even when I called him a game manager, okay?
Which is not a bad thing.
It is not a bad connotation to
style
who
of play
that person is, okay?
Sure about that?
He was shipped, he was migrated to Detroit to die.
Mm-hmm.
Respectfully.
They threw him to the pack, came back leading it.
Came back leading the pride. You dig what I'm saying? What he's been able to do in Detroit is something that no quarterback has ever been able to do. And I say that respectfully. So, yeah, man, well-deserved.
So he's definitely worth the bag.
Yes.
He's worth the bag.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. For shit show. Like.
That's the first time I ever heard Cam Newton say something positive. How you feel about his remarks, Luke G?
I think that most people will look at his remarks and feel like it's just him saying something positive, but truth hurts. He's still a game manager. You're paying him a top dollar to be just a game manager, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's exactly just that. I think when you look at Jared Goff, if the question is, has he earned that contract? That's cap.
What?
Yeah, that's cap.
Luke, that's my quarterback, Luke. Luke, that's my quarterback.
Listen, that could be your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But I think you have to look at certain situations. I don't have a problem with him being that, but it's like Eric Kramer got to the NFC championship game. Like, that's when we were at the NFC Central, so he's got there too. So when Cam Newton said he's done what no other quarterback has done, that's not true. But overall, I feel like, if the fan base is happy about him having this deal, and the fan base believe that, like you just said, it's your quarterback, then more power to him. I just wonder. I just want that same fan base to remember that it's saying, "Oh, that's my quarterback. These is my people." Keep that same energy now, because he's gonna have some down days too. And when he have those down days, you need to keep that same energy and say, "You know what? Yeah, I see why we having what we having, and this is what it is." So as long as you keep that same energy, I'm good with it. But for me, I would have probably waited until he, got to the end of that contract.
Now, Luke, I was on your show and I told you that Jared Goff was going to be the MVP last year. He didn't be MVP, but he got one game out of the Super Bowl. One game. Got his
Mhm.
playoff wins. Something Stafford ain't never did in 32 years. You don't think he deserves his contract?
No. And I don't think that most football people would think that he's better than Stafford either. But this ain't a Stafford issue for me. Realistically, it's more of a let's get with the times, right? And to me, getting with the times is like we're happy about the contract because we're looking at it from an emotional standpoint. Like, oh, we haven't won playoff game. Oh, we haven't been to the NFC Championship game. Oh, we haven't won a division. Like, but there's a coach, a squad, and a GM that's also doing their jobs too. So it's like, yeah, but again, I ain't mad at them. They signed him. It is what it is. I feel like we could have did some things a little bit different. And I also feel like, when you look at him, did he do anything that make you say he's better than? I mean, I gotta work. I know that the contract is going to ultimately end up being him not being the highest paid when everybody else get paid, but is he really better than the people he ahead of right now? I don't know if I can say that.
Oh, a lot of them.
Like who?
I mean, I don't. You didn't say anybody, so I'll just throw a name out there. Like right now, I would take Jared Goff over Justin Herbert.
Okay.
Didn't Daniel Jones just get paid a bunch of money?
He did. He got paid $45 million. Jared Goff got.
I tell him Jalen Hurts too.
So here's my thought too. Just just from like a wild round aspect of this, standing way the fuck out here, right? Like if he's getting paid $45 million to be below mid, less than mid. Okay. Yep. What the fuck Jared should have got then with being top 5 and everything?
Yeah, so my attitude isn't a matter of if somebody else got paid for being a mid quarterback. There are dumb people that do dumb things all the time. Somebody jumped out of a perfectly good plane for a thrill. I mean, that doesn't mean
you gotta play the market. And it's a lot easier to get worse than it is to get better.
I get it. I get all of that. I get everything that you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying.
Tell me you're a Hendon Hooker homer.
Oh Lord, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm a Hendon Hooker homer. Yeah.
Is that serious or sarcasm?
No, that's 100% serious. Because
do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
You have to understand that at the end of the day, that look at the league. The league is telling you what the market looks like. Your quarterback, if the pocket is not perfect for him, it's dead in the water.
No, we didn't say he did it all by himself, though. It's a team sport.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
that's kind of bullshit.
I'm saying, look at the market, right? Your market is telling you your quarterback needs to be able to move. That's not Jared Goff.
But is it Hendon Hooker? We've never seen him play in the NFL.
You're right. We've never seen Hendon Hooker play in the NFL. That is 100% facts. Just like nobody never seen Brock Purdy play in the NFL until he did. Nobody saw Kurt Warner play in the NFL until he did. Nobody saw Tom Brady play in the NFL until he did. I can go down a list of names of people we never saw play in the NFL until they did. All I'm pointing out to you is this. Even though they didn't play in the NFL until they did, he still lines up with the market. And if this team is exactly what most of us think it is in terms of how it's being built, I'm sorry, I believe I can plug you back there, Torrey, to play quarterback and we succeed.
Yeah, I don't I just don't disagree. I disagree. Not nothing to do with Torrey at all. I just don't think that that mindset is
right. Why you doing
that? Nothing to do with this. Is nothing to do with Torrey at all. It's just the fact that you saying any quarterback could go out there and do these things. I don't believe that at all. Okay. Because I sat there and watched fucking Tim Boyle sling the rock with the same offensive line last year, and he was fucking atrocious. He was one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life.
You watch who do what?
Do you not remember Tim Boyle playing?
Tim Boyle didn't do that. Tim Boyle didn't have this offensive line. Tim Boyle didn't have this running back. Tim Boyle didn't have these receivers. He didn't have these tight ends.
You said O-line.
He didn't have this O-line.
How didn't he have the O-line? When Tim Boyle played games, he had Penei Sewell. He had Jonah Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
He had Frank Ragnow.
Yep.
He had at one point.
And who was his guard? Who was his guard?
Who was his guard at that point in time? It was a combination of Evan Brown and I don't remember the other person that I was rotating with, to be honest with you, off the top of my head.
Big V.
No, but he was hurt the entire season. He got hit at the beginning of the year.
That's
So
what
he
I'm
wasn't
saying.
even the rotation guy. So it was Evan Brown and somebody else.
So that's what I'm saying. This line that Jared Goff
You're talking
had,
one lineman off here. And we had a rotating guard last year with
I
Glasgow.
totally understand, but those same
Like,
linemen were also hurt.
They're just
Those
not
linemen were
comparable,
hurt.
Luke. You got to be real about this. Like, I understand that you guys, the people that are like you and have that mindset, and I don't completely disagree in all factors, but 98% of them I do.
So your argument is he's one lineman off, even though that most of them linemen were hurt. So we're gonna skip over it. I told you. I said you can plug anybody, including Torian, into this team and have success. You focus on the offensive line. You don't want to talk about the running back. You don't want to talk about the receivers. You don't want to talk about the tight end, but you want to focus on the offensive line. So let's address the rest of the team in terms of what I was talking about. If you're going to say that, tell me who was his receivers. And again, these are the things that I'm looking at. I'm just simply pointing out to you that when you look at the market,
Amon St. Brown was his wide receiver.
Who else?
Doesn't matter.
I know. But see, this is what I'm saying. If we're having the conversation, right? If you can tell me that,
no, that's what I'm saying. But I am having the conversation. Like that is like it doesn't matter. Like he had a decent wide receiver. The offense was the same. Ben Johnson was still here. Like
if it doesn't matter, hold on, wait. If it doesn't matter, then we really are not having a debate, because what you are essentially saying is when it's for your argument, the positional play that you put out there matters. And so at that point, you're saying, okay, this matters.
Jared dealt with the same thing though and looked a lot better.
I'm just asking you. You named Tim Boyles. Like Tim Boyles was
because he was a part of the offense that actually.
Okay, how many games did Tim Boyles start? How many games did Tim Boyles start?
Other guy, like 4.
4 games.
Yeah, like 4 games.
So he started 4 games, and so you're using a guy who played in 4 games as your example of people.
Because he's one of the only other guys in the offense. Yeah, I don't have many examples because Jared doesn't miss much time.
So, but even Jared's first year wasn't even impressive. So, what do you mean?
For what he had?
Oh, got it. Okay.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm definitely serious.
That's
the difference
insane.
The difference is this.
You can't even name me the third wide receiver in that offense.
Yeah, I could.
Quincy Stevens and Khalif
That
Raymond.
wasn't the third wide receiver.
Yeah, I could. Their third wide receiver was Amon St. Brown.
No, the third wide, that was like the 4th-string wide receiver at that time.
Nope, he was the third because the other guy got hurt. Rashard Berryman got hurt.
They signed the 3rd-string wide receiver, and then he went to the Bucks and then caught a touchdown. Everybody bitched about him fucking catching a touchdown in one of the playoff games. Remember?
No. But if you want to believe that, by all means, believe it. If y'all believe what y'all believe, I'm just telling you.
Then my question to you is then. Hendon Hooker train. All right. When he does succeed, what happens?
When who succeed?
Jared.
Then he succeeds. The team succeeds.
We all gonna be like, yeah, Jared Goff.
I mean, is that gonna? Are you still gonna be on the Hendon Hooker train next year?
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I also understand what is happening. Jared Goff, to me, is. I mean, hell, even if you look at,
understand your mindset completely for everybody watching everything. Here's my thing: who is better, Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff?
Jalen Hurts.
Okay, I got you now.
Yep, Jalen Hurts. And when you go through and you look at the quarterbacks, I'm just looking at what the market is doing. The statue quarterback is more of a liability if they're not like quick-witted thinking like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. And Jared is not that guy. Jared is not that guy. He's not like he does certain things, but you know, I don't fall in love with the stats. To the people who say stuff like, "Oh, he's a top 5 quarterback," that's cap. To the people who say that Jared Goff needs to be our quarterback for the future.
Who's 5 quarterbacks better?
That's too easy. Come on, give me something harder.
Go.
Name.
Oh, this your top 5 real quick. No. Look, just real quick. I want to hear it. I just want everybody to hear it.
No. That's too easy. Joe Burrow's better than him. Patrick Mahomes is better than him. CJ Stroud right now is better than him.
3.
Give him another year.
You said, huh?
Give him another year.
Give him one more year.
That's fair, but you just asked me to name 5 people that's better than him. And that's what I'm telling you. It's not.
You go ahead. No, I'm just making small comments underneath your list. Go ahead.
That's 3.
Okay. I believe that. Well, I can't believe him. He's much of the same. But right now, I believe Jalen Hurts is better than him. I believe.
Man can't throw the ball.
You said who?
Jalen Hurts can barely throw the ball.
Okay. All right. Lamar Jackson's better than him.
Okay. 2.
You said 2.
I've heard 2 that you've actually said that I like more than Jared right now in the league.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. Let me put it like this.
I still don't know. I still don't know if Joe Burrow can throw with his wrist. So
Okay.
If you look at Matthew Stafford's stats last year and Jared Goff,
That I don't care about them stats or nothing like that. Listen, when it comes to football, I look directly at the tape and I can see different things that's happening in those games. And I'm telling you, the stats are cool because I don't get too caught up in the stats because that they tell one part of the story, one part. But the reality is when you look at Matthew Stafford, he's better than Jared Goff. And when you look at our division right now, every quarterback in the division is mobile. What's the Lions' weakness right now? Stopping mobile quarterbacks. Brock Purdy is mobile. And so when you look at it, you have to look at the mobile quarterbacks and say, dang, do we stay with a stationary quarterback or do we get a quarterback that's a little bit more athletic that can give us something? Now,
they got to find one that's better, though. That's the thing.
Huh?
They got to find one that's actually a better quarterback than Jared.
I got it. I got it. Y'all love Jared Goff. I get it.
I don't love Jared Goff. They just got to find somebody better that will do better than Jared.
You won't be able to see what's better if it doesn't touch the field. The same way with James Houston.
When you don't give every day in practice.
Huh?
They touch the field every day in practice.
They did what on practice?
They touch the field every day in practice.
What do you mean?
Where Sky's going with this? They're seeing Hendon practice. They're seeing what he does with this line. He's getting reps with this line. He's getting reps with our running backs that you've mentioned that are much better than previous, correct? When we tried somebody other than Jared. He's getting reps with our wide receivers that are highly...
Every sport has politics, and this is just the reality of it. The best players are not always put on the field. We've seen that evident when you get people like James Houston, who's balling out, and they still put out people like Charles Harris. We saw James Houston go in a short stretch and get 8 sacks, and the season started, and Charles Harris was the starter. So it's a lot of politics in there. We saw people like Jamal Williams get brought here, who was clearly not better than DeAndre Swift, but he was given the starting nod. So the practice talk and all that stuff, that's easy talk for the casual fan to bring up because why not? It makes sense. But the reality is guess what? There's more politics in this than in anything else. And so when I see that happening, I can see what the politics was. They knew what they was doing when they traded up and took Hendon Hooker. It wasn't so he could be a career backup. It was so if Jared didn't live up to what they expected, they can move on from it. Similar to what they did with Cam Sutton. As soon as Cam Sutton had that incident, they were like, "Oh God, this ain't working out." They quickly got out of it because they wanted to get ahead of it. And all I'm pointing out to people is Hendon Hooker was getting ready to be a Heisman Trophy winner before he got hurt. He is mobile. Tennessee had the same offense with the same coordinators and some speedy receivers, and they still didn't get the same result that they did with Hendon Hooker. And all I'm pointing out to people is why not give the guy with mobility a shot? You know, there's so many things you could have did different with Jared Goff. I get it. The Lion fan base have been hungry for a playoff win. They've been hungry for division wins. They've been hungry for an NFC championship appearance and win. They've been hungry for a Super Bowl. I'm in that boat, but I'm also not delusional enough to just act like it's Jared Goff. That's just my stance.
I agree with you with the politics because there was no way we should have seen Will Harris on the field the last 3 years, and he was out there. So there was
exactly it's politics
signing him. So I understand that, but you got to give Jared Goff his credit, bro. All right, it just Peyton Manning would have never did what he did if he didn't have his O line and the receiving core that he had in Indianapolis.
I agree.
He never.
I agree with you. And again, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. When I'm bringing this up, I'm bringing it up from a standpoint of, yeah, you're right. Peyton Manning, a lot of quarterbacks. There's a lot of game managers who win and stuff like this. What I am concerned with is essentially a 3-year deal with him, which I'm happy they did it that way with that option out. It's essentially a 3-year deal. What I'm concerned with, and I told fans this before, I said, if you are truly on the Jared Goff train, then you need to be asking for him to be re-signed last year before the season started, after that first season. Not a single Lion fan was ready to pull the trigger on it. But now
he had to prove himself. He had to prove himself.
He's been. Hold on, wait. What does he have to prove when he's already been in the league? He's already been to a Super Bowl, and he was the first overall pick. What else do he have to prove?
After that Super Bowl, look what they did in the Super Bowl. Nothing. He had a down year after the Super Bowl with McVay.
I get it. But guess what? But guess what I'm saying? All of those things that you're pointing out when you say he had to prove himself, if you truly saying that he was that guy, and all it took was one season for him to prove himself, I'm saying, why not look for the consistency?
3 seasons he did. The first season he had here, where we only
this
won
is his
game.
third. This is going to be his 3rd year.
All right, look, the first season he had when he only won a couple games. The second season when we was a game out of the playoffs and we beat Green Bay, knocked them out of the playoffs. And this year when he got him to, that's 3 seasons.
It's 4th year. This will be his 4th year. He'll be with
Right.
us.
This will be his 4th year. This will be his 4th year. So in the 3 seasons that he was here, if the fans believe what they believe, why not sign him before then? I told fans that he was not taking less than $50 million a season. Nobody listened. Nobody listened. So I told them, I said, look, if he's the guy that you say he is, pay him now. But guess what?
Why though? He was under contract for cheap as fuck.
He still could have been under contract for cheap as fuck. We didn't have to give him a contract this year,
but he wouldn't play.
Huh?
He wouldn't have played.
Okay, so if he didn't play and he had that success, you got a trading prospect.
That's what would have happened, but they want him to play.
They believe in Jared Goff.
They believe in Jared Goff.
And I'm okay with them believing in Jared Goff. What I'm just simply telling you is why I have more faith and why I am more on the Hendon Hooker train, because guess what? I felt that it would be cheaper, and I felt that with this team, you can really pretty much plug any quarterback in and get success. I do believe that, and that's just my stance on it.
And Luke, that is a path they could have took, but in my opinion, that path is a one-way ticket to get fired if Hendon Hooker sucks.
Yeah, I highly doubt that they would have fired him if Hendon Hooker sucked. I highly doubt.
They let Jared Goff walk after taking him to an NFC Championship game to start.
But he wasn't going to walk because he had another year on his deal. He had another year.
Not sitting behind Luke. Be real. Luke, he's not sitting behind fucking.
I'm not. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not telling you to let him sit behind Hendon Hooker. What I'm saying is he was on. This would have been his final year. Let him play out his year.
He wouldn't have played.
Luke, he would have. How do you know he would have played?
No smart agent lets their player play on their final year when they're due.
No smart player plays on their final year because you can get hurt. You can get anything can happen. You feel me? And you just lose out $1 million. You feel me?
Running backs don't even do that, dude. You think a fucking top 5 quarterback is going to do that shit?
It's not a top 5 quarterback. Oh god, jeez. Okay. Okay.
Statistically, last year he was a top 5 fucking quarterback. Like it or not.
Okay. If you want to say statistically he's a top 5 quarterback, that's cool.
That was the words that came out of my mouth, Luke.
Right, you said that now, but you said you're not going to do this with a top 5 quarterback. And my response is he's not a top 5 quarterback. And then you said statistically he's a top 5 quarterback. Right. So if you want to say he's top 5 and statistically, that's great. But him himself is not a top 5 quarterback, and that's just not lined up at all.
That's your opinion because that's the stats.
Okay, well, then we should have paid him before then. We didn't need to have him prove himself for 3 whole seasons for him to get the contract.
Tori, your thoughts on the game?
See, this is the thing, though. I'm not sitting here saying Jared is an end-all, be-all of everything either. But what I'm saying is when the guy goes out and does what he does and he's consistent and he is what Ben Johnson wants out of a quarterback, pay the fucker because he's doing what you want him to do.
So if Ben Johnson gets hired to a head coaching job next season, you expect Jared Goff to still perform like the top 5 statistical
No,
quarterback?
because you forget that Dan Campbell had his hand in Ben Johnson's playing the last year and a half.
That's Dan Campbell's playbook.
So a lot of that shit is Ben adding on what he likes and throwing in there what his groove is. There had to be a foundation before he fucking got there. He doesn't roll in the fucking into week 7 and fucking take, here you go.
So your belief is even without Ben Johnson, Jared Goff statistically is going to still be top 5.
If he's a part of the Lions and the team that they got, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
With or without Ben Johnson.
Okay.
Tori, your thoughts and comments on the Cam Newton.
I almost forgot even what Cam Newton said after all that, but I agree. Cam Newton is spot on, whether we wanted what Cam Newton had to say or not, really, but Jared deserved that pay. He deserved it. He's done nothing the last few years. A lot of these games that come down to the wire, Jared is making those calls, game manager or not. He's game managing at a top level. There's
John, you in the background. Your thoughts?
Damn right, Tori.
I mean, right, it's pretty much the same thing Tori said. I mean, whether we like it or not, I mean, Cam Newton was a former NFL quarterback, former MVP. So, I mean,
national champion.
Yes, national champion. He knows the position. So it's like you can't discredit what he's saying. Yeah, Goff is still a game manager. That's what he has to be with the Lions. You don't need a superstar. We don't need him to be Pat Mahomes. We don't need him to be Lamar Jackson. Get the ball to your playmakers and let them make plays. That's it. And that's what got him paid. Plain and simple.
All right, let's get to the next subject. OTAs is started, baby. We saw one step closer to football being back. I'm ready, man. Are you all excited about OTAs? Scott, what are you looking for out of OTAs this year? Right?
I mean, everything that's going on in OTAs so far, it's everything. I've heard nothing but good news, to be honest with you.
We get into the OTA news. We got that.
I'm just saying, like, what am I looking forward to in general?
What player are you looking to how can I say this? Take the next step, during OTAs and continue on to the regular season.
I mean, I just want Gibbs to take the next step. That's my biggest thing. Everybody's going to say J-Mo. I think he's going to take the next step for sure. I would love him to do it, but I think Gibbs can be even better than he was last year. And it's going to be wild when he takes that next step. So,
John, who are you looking forward to taking that next step?
Oh, Jack Campbell.
Yes.
Look at Tori.
You know what I mean? Because he played solid as a rookie last year and played in big moments for us. But it's year 2. I mean, I want to see you fly to the ball more. I want to see you get drop back in coverages and actually make more plays. I don't want to see such a statue. He really looked like a statue year 1, but he made plays. You can't discredit it. But year 2, I need to see more.
Now we all Lions fans. Have y'all seen David Montgomery running OTAs already, where he split the defense and took it off?
Yeah, that big run.
Jack Campbell was out of place right there. I'm just saying, Tori, don't get mad at me. But your man was out of place already during OTA. So what do y'all think he got to do to take that next step?
Film, study,
keep his head down.
More reps. I mean, you're just playing in a bigger league that's faster. You just need more reps.
Tori, who are you looking for to take the next step? I already know what you going to say.
No, actually, I'm watching the entire cornerback room. I'm really excited to see what we're going to do with that and who's going to play where, who's going to be getting more reps, who's going to stand out, because there's so much competition in that room. It's going to be fun. No, cornerback. Yeah.
I'm about to say, Henry Hooker said, like Scott said, I'm going to kill it in preseason. But Luke G, man, who are you looking for to take that next step, man, and progress through this OTA and going to this next season?
Like, first of all, I don't really begin to care about the OTAs. I care about when we hit training camp, because when the pass come on is when I find out who you really is. All this walkthrough stuff, this is just all conditioning and getting you back into the rhythm. But there's only one legit answer to it, and it's the guy that we traded up for to get, and that's Broderick Martin. When is he going to do something? Anything? Is he gonna fart and break wind or anything? And when like I want him to step it up. And not just I know he changed his body and all that cool stuff. Every fan gonna jump on that little small simple news. Like I get it, but seriously, he was a healthy scratch for all of last year. And when we needed help from the defensive line, we got nothing. Nothing. Like in the words of like Whitney Houston, nothing. Like it's just like he needs to do something. He got to be something. I don't know what he got to be, but it's got to be more than just a healthy scratch. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna take
that is wild too. So if he doesn't get playing time this year, Luke, it's crazy. It's a crazy pick.
He's going to get playing time, but it's going to be so slim that people ain't going to even recognize it because we're going to be winning, and people not going to recognize that he ain't playing. But I'm going to be paying attention. I hated the pick when we took it. I didn't understand it. I still don't understand it. Just like I hated when we took James Mitchell. Didn't understand that pick. I didn't understand a lot of the other picks that we took. But hey, I was like, hey, I'm going with it. I'm just making the point that he's going to get playing time, but you're going to get nothing from him. Like I don't see where he's going to offer you anything of value to it. But I'm hoping he takes that step. Like it has to be him.
The player I think he's going to be is that wide receiver Green. There's an opportunity since Josh Reynolds gone. For me, he just take that spot and run with it. So I'm looking for him to step up in OTAs in preseason and take that role of Josh Reynolds. That's who I think he's going to be. Just because his last name Green, that's my last name. That's my distant cousin. So
that's your distant cousin.
That's my distant cousin.
Like 12 times removed.
Sir, you feel me?
I take it. I get it.
All right, next subject we're gonna get into. Coach Campbell at his press conference. Now, if y'all didn't see the press conference that Dan Campbell had, the first thing he talked about was the injury. So let's go over the injuries that we got right now during OTA.
This out of the way. So, all right, Ragnow, Decker, Laporta, Yodi, Sudfeld, Gibbs, Bam, Kirby, Branch, Davenport, Reeder, Kaminsky, Barnes, Mosley, Arnold, Rakestraw, Anzalone. All of those players are either limited, no practice, or out for personal reasons. And then all could be PUP or doubtful to probable for the Rams. So
that's a lot of players.
Yeah, but again, like I told you, it's walkthroughs, man. And so what you're really doing is getting them back into the rhythm, getting them into the playbooks. You're getting them into conditioning. They get back on their diets. It's the prelim stuff. Like it's not. It's what I'm saying. Like it's not that
It's not a big deal at all. It's kind of a joke. It was kind of what Dan Campbell got jokes, dude. What the fuck?
Like
that dude's. Now they're just trolling the media at this point. Like they're literally fucking with him.
Yeah, because at this point, it's not dire. Like it's OTAs.
No, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Tori, you got any problems with injury list right now, or you're not concerned at all either?
No, not really. Some of those guys are coming off hard seasons. I know, like Ragnow, he's always got something going on. Right, Laporta's injury.
Injury to the playoffs. Yeah.
Didn't Kirby just get like a hip surgery or something too?
Kirby family things too, though. You gotta remember that.
I think Kirby got like some type of like hip thing done, but
he won't be doing backflips for a while.
Yeah, see, that's another one of the positions I'm concerned about because everybody is so hyped off of Iffy, even though it's like what year 1500 for him. It's like he had a good stretch, and I've seen players have a good stretch. We've seen Kirby Joseph have a good stretch, but Kirby Joseph wasn't as explosive with getting the ball for us like he was that when he got the chance. So it's like
James Houston had a good stretch, and he
who did?
James Houston, the stretch of games, and then last year he was just like,
see, and that's the thing. I feel like James Houston, if given more snaps, like good grief, they would. I mean, granted, he got hurt last year, but even when he came out, even when he came out straight from that being off that that season, they still wasn't really like giving him no love. So that's why I'm saying, like, I wish they, gave him more reps. I just sometimes it be these moments where I have flashbacks. Like one of the reasons I wanted Matt Patricia fired after his first game was he started Tavon Wilson over Glover Quinn, and I could not find a logical bone in my body to justify it. And I was like, no, if you're putting people in because they came from the old team, and you're buddies with them and stuff, you should not be the coach. But I realized that this is the culture in the NFL and in sports in general. And that's how it is in the workforce too. If you buddy with the people, you get away with more stuff.
So look like we're gonna start off with Darren. What are you expecting from James Houston this year?
Honestly, not much. I don't think they're gonna give him the opportunity. And I think if they were going to give him the opportunity, there's no way you sign Marcus Davenport, who, in my opinion, is a waste of energy. It's a waste of money, energy, and everything. Like, this man has never done much of nothing. He had one semi-okay season, and outside of that, he was a non-factor with a better defensive end opposite of him. And anybody who dare challenge me and say, well, he got Hutchinson. Hutchinson's not better than Danielle Hunter, and Hunter couldn't help him get on and get going. So I don't think James Houston gets to do nothing. I think they're going to limit his snaps again, situational football, throw him in here and there, and he's going to probably end up retiring after this season. He was getting ready to retire when they cut him. He was getting ready to say, you know what, forget it.
It's a damn shame, bro.
Sky, what are you expecting from James Houston this year?
I mean, I don't know what they'll fucking expect with him because it's really up to the Lions. They fucked up last year by putting him on special teams.
And in coverage?
Yeah, I'm not so worried about the coverage. It's more the special team shit for me. I mean, a guy like this is the one thing that
Scott, he's a pass rusher. Why you got him in coverage?
That's what I'm saying. Well, I agree with you there, but
I don't have a problem with that. I think every player needs to be able to have a little something that they go outside of their norm and do.
Exactly.
Penei Sewell is an offensive tackle. Why throw him at tight end? Right? Like, we can play this game all day. Warren Sapp's a D tackle. Why throw him at tight end? Like, we do this all the time. Refrigerator Perry was a D tackle. Why play him at running back? That's not the issue. The issue is sometimes you're gonna be asked to do things that's not necessarily in your wheelhouse, but you gotta have opportunities, and they don't give him enough snaps. That to me seems to be a bigger issue.
Absolutely, John, Tori, what are y'all expecting from James Houston this year?
Go ahead, Tori.
Ladies first.
I would love to see him come off this injury fully. I'd love to see what he did 2 seasons ago, where he was up there with Hutch and sacks. I'd love to see that again. But coming off injury, I don't know what we're going to see out of him, because he came back for 1 or 2 games last season, and he was just rotational, get his feet back under him, and we didn't see nothing. So, I mean, I would hope that he gets his time, but I don't know.
John.
I don't really have expectations. I mean, it's really, like I say, it's hard. I guess it come training camp, we'll have to let him get his reps and see what we see.
See if they fit him in.
See, I'm the opposite. See, last year, my expectations for James Houston, I wanted him to have 24 sacks, especially after the season he had 8 sacks and everything, and I was totally disappointed. So I hope they put him in the right position where he can succeed, man, and give me at least 12 sacks this year, because he's capable of doing it. If they put him in the right situation, he's capable of doing it. He got the talent to do it. That dip, we ain't seen that dip. No, you know what I mean? Nobody do that dip like him, you feel me? So I think if they put him in the right situation, he could.
Neil, I don't disagree with you, bro, but look at here's the thing that Luke said earlier about the Lions. There is situations where this team and this coaching staff does have favorites. They will go with a guy. They will go with a guy that they truly like over guys that should be in the position in a lot of people's eyes. So it's like in James Houston's situation, for one, don't know why the fuck he was playing special teams. 2, don't know what the problem with is towards the end of last year. I know he was working his way back in and everything like that, and he was in the last game, but okay. there was like 3 weeks where he said that he was completely healthy and he didn't get back on the roster and he was still part of being injured. So like, I don't know what that was about, because when he was put on the team, he came out of nowhere and he did fine. So if they don't work him in this year, especially what they have, and if Davenport don't do well, like it just doesn't make sense to me, because you got enough guys on the roster now on that D line that you should be able to use him as a rotational third down rusher. So he literally is just rushing the passer. So
I think they don't want. I don't think they want him to take all Hutchinson's spotlight. That's what I think kind of come down to.
Yep. Come on, that's now you preaching. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
I don't think they want
because many people that first season
to do with it.
I think
because if you take the second overall pick in the draft and you got an undrafted free agent and he gets more sacks than Hutchinson, they're gonna be calling Hutchinson a bust.
That don't matter, bro.
I disagree. The politics is very strong. I mean, even look at even look at the draft, right? That building has always had champions on there, right? It's had Steve Eiserman, it's had the Stanley Cup, and it's had Barry Sanders in terms of Hall of Fame status and stuff. And then the draft come, and the guy that they promote is Aiden Hutchinson. And Aiden Hutchinson ain't even like our best player on the Lions, right? So I do believe that there is some type of agenda where they are trying to make Aiden Hutchinson not look like something, because he's right. If James Houston is outperforming him and he's undrafted and that guy trust me, it messes up marketing, it messes up profits and money. They're not gonna let that happen. And I
having 2 superstar DNs does not fuck up money and profits, brother. I don't know what the fuck you're talking. That's got to be the sleepy shit getting to you, Luke.
No. See, you're looking at it and you're saying having 2 star DNs is not messing up profits. The most selling jersey for the Lions is Aiden Hutchinson.
Dude, it was Rodrigo for literally like 2 months.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, bro?
You see what they did with Rodrigo, right? You see what they did with Rodrigo?
Yeah,
put him on the bench.
Yeah, he's still 5'10".
Wait. So again, you're saying it was Rodrigo for a few months, right? And that was
He literally said it on Hard Knocks.
I hear what you're saying, but the most selling jersey for the Lions is Aiden Hutchinson, right?
He's from Michigan.
I don't care where he's from. You're not answering the question. The most selling jersey for the Lions right now is Aiden Hutchinson, correct?
I have no idea. Maybe.
Well, you got Google.
Might be
You can
Jared
Google
Goff
it.
since he got signed.
You can Google it. The most selling jerseys is Aiden Hutchinson. If you got an undrafted pass rusher outperforming him, I do believe that cuts into their profits, because guess what? You find me the James Houston jersey. They're going to have to produce those jerseys.
But they're still making money.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson's jersey is not only agency to see with a great story, but the fans are buying it too, helping the Michigan native have one of the best-selling football jerseys in today's football.
And so when you got to remember, they're selling a story. They're selling a story, and they're selling the product. And you're right; they're going to still make money.
Every Michigan fan is going to buy a Hutchinson jersey. Yeah. Every single one of them.
I get it.
So it don't matter if it was
golf. He could have been the worst player. He could have had the worst season.
He is the backyard kid. It's just going to be that way.
The most jerseys sold is before the season started.
I mean, it's just what it is.
Hey, Bandit, I can't argue with the people. I just agree with you. It is. I'm telling you, the politics in sports is so crazy that it's unnecessary. And I'm telling you, they clearly have their favorites. I cannot, for the life of me, understand why was DeAndre Swift not giving the ball more, even after he went nuts in games, and he still came out and had to be put to the bench for Jamal Williams, who ended up going over to the Saints and doing nothing. Diddly squat for him. And I'm telling you, the politics in this thing is so for real, it makes no sense. So I have no doubt.
It comes down to this. It all comes down to the almighty dollar. Let's be real.
Look, listen. To me, when something is true, it's true across every board. Justin Fields could have if Justin Fields was given all the support that they're giving Caleb Williams, would he had been better? I'm pretty sure. But for what he had, he did pretty good. And he certainly did us dirty, right? But I'm just saying, like, the politics is real. They moved on from a quarterback to get another quarterback, and then gave that quarterback more weapons than they gave the guy that they moved on from.
That's just Chicago's organization, just the same organization whose equipment got stolen from the lock, and everything just came up missing. So
no, I'm saying I get it. I'm just making the point that it's the politics in this. That's what I'm saying. I think see what you said right there. Everybody's not going to see that, but that's the truth. There is politics in why they're not giving James Houston that love and why they're having him do more things. Because guess what? When you look at that, talk about why Aiden Hutchinson didn't win the Defensive Rookie of the Year, all the people who voted was like, hey, there's a guy on that team who had less playing time, and did what he did more consistently. That's what ruined him. That's what ruined him. James Houston ruined Aiden Hutchinson's rookie season because James Houston did what Aiden Hutchinson did, and he did it quicker, faster, and more efficient. That's just the truth.
before we get to the next subject out here, we got 217 people watching. I appreciate that. If y'all could please hit that like and subscribe button. Once we reach 500 subscribers, like it's going across the bottom of the screen, we'll be giving our free I'm Around St. Brown jersey, Jared Goff, or Penei Sue jersey. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, and we're going to get back into the show. Next subject we're going to talk about. Everybody talking about Lions Super Bowl or bust. Super Bowl or bust. Well, Dan Campbell spoke about that. Let's see what he had to say.
Is it Super Bowl or bust this year for you guys from where you got to last year, so close to getting to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I don't know the whole. I don't see bust. I see Super Bowl. I don't know what the bust is. So
Super Bowl or nothing
It's
else?
here's what I know, man. We all know what every team ought to have that, right? Every team ought to be like, man, what are you playing for? You're playing for a Super Bowl. So we're no different than that. But I think, yeah, we know that now. We work backwards from there, and so you got to set yourself up no different than last year. Certain things you got to do to really make that valid. Make that a reality. So, and so that's, ultimately that's what we want to do. Now to do that, you better win the division. You got to give yourself the best odds you can, right? You need to win the division. You need the best seeding you possibly do. Okay, well, how do you do that? Well, you got to start with where we're at now. You got to go back to work. You got to do all the little things, which to this point our guys have done, man. They've been here for off season. They're grinding. They're working. We're in good shape. We're strong. We're physical. We're explosive. And we're just in the beginning of this.
Luke, you agree or disagree? Is it Super Bowl or nothing or Super Bowl or bust?
It's just Super Bowl. He's right. We literally play the game to get to the Super Bowl. It's the only thing you're playing for. It ain't like we're playing for, Dixie cups and tips. We're not doing it for that. Like, that's what you're playing for the Super Bowl. So when he says that I don't get the bust part, yeah, why is our season considered a fail if we don't win the Super Bowl? You realize that only one team wins the Super Bowl.
I say 31 teams.
31 losers, right? It's 31 other losers. Then you get your grand bums because you can get some people who are some bums, right? But it's 31 other losers. So you're playing to win that Super Bowl. And I'm sure when looking at last year's team, the 49ers will tell you, oh, yeah, our season was a bust because they didn't win it. So I don't get the bust part. But, yes, we're playing to win a Super Bowl. So I agree with everything he said.
Tori?
Yeah, I agree. I actually didn't even have us going that far last year at the beginning of the season. I loved where it went. But in this rebrand, I did not have us in the NFC Championship game. I had a playoffs, but I didn't have that expectation going to the season. This season, I do have us going to the Super Bowl. We are there. We were a game away, 2 quarters away.
2 drop passes.
But there was a lot more. But
there's a whole lot more than 2 drop passes.
Yeah. There was a lot more. The whole second half was just fuckery. But yeah, no, this year is Super Bowl. Like, we were half a game away.
Literally.
Scott, your thoughts? Is it Super Bowl or bust or Super Bowl or nothing?
Well, my thing about it is it's with just like Luke said, when you go to an NFC Championship game, that it's literally not a failure. I would be mad.
Came from.
I mean, I would be mad. That it does have a play in it, but just think about it like this. Yeah, it would be weird, but what if we went to an NFC Championship game the next 4 years in a row? And
we're not the 49ers. And lose every year. We're not the 49ers. I don't want to do that.
Is
That's
it
not
a
hard,
failure?
Yeah, because you didn't win the Super Bowl. The what you play for 17 weeks in a bye in the playoff games is to do what? Win the Super Bowl. So if you don't win the Super Bowl, it's a bust. I feel like that's how we got to have higher standards for us, and we can't be the same with Detroit Lions where we got like we gotta. It should be Super Bowl or nothing.
I want a Super Bowl more than just about anybody. But what I'm saying is, when you have continuous success and it's not a championship, like I'm not gonna sit there and say that shit's a failure. It's just that there's a hump that we can't get over, and we haven't gotten over. What we will.
I'm not saying last season was a failure because, like I said,
Right.
32 years without making a playoff and making a playoff without winning a playoff game, hosting a home playoff game, like we accomplished a lot extra. So it wasn't a failure, but the ultimate goal is to get the Super Bowl. So in that sense, we kind of did come up short.
Right, but you got to look at it from like a long range kind of look too, because the way that Brad is kind of building a foundation, it's lasting, you know. That's the thing. He plays his money right. Luke's not going to agree with the Goth part money, but I'm sure he would agree with most of the other money that's been allocated out.
It's not that I disagree with the golf money. It's not even a money issue for me when it comes to golf. And with Brad Holmes, my only criticism of Brad Holmes has been, when are you going to legitimately and effectively address the biggest weakness that the Lions have had since you got here, and that is the defense. Okay, and so guess what? Everybody gets hyped about Aiden Hutchinson. Everybody gets hyped that we made it to the NFC Championship, but we were not very good effectively as a front seven. We you know, in crucial downs and plays, we wasn't there. It frustrated the crap out of me watching Brock Purdy split Jack Campbell and Ellis Anzalone as he runs past him. How are you guys as linebackers not fast enough to bring him down?
Oh, you about to get Tory, man? Don't talk about Jack.
Those situations are bad, but I think that will come with a lot of like DJ Reader situation, because I'm thinking that with DJ Reader being in there, he is going to take the double team away, and it's going to allow Aleem McNeil to have a lot more one-on-ones. And we've seen in recent year, in a couple of games where he's getting a lot of one-on-ones and double teams, he's winning those. So that pressure up the middle is going to not allow that to scramble, because a lot of times, like Brock Purdy, that shit was like mostly up the fucking middle. Like, he would literally like a fucking quarterback draw. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it was insane, because our defensive ends are so locked into containing after getting beat so many fucking weeks by so many different quarterbacks, like you said earlier, because we have a problem with it, that it's just wide the fuck open. So I'm hoping and praying that Aleem, Pascal, Kaminsky, all those guys can step up in that other 3-tech position to make fucking plays. Because a lot of that crucial third down pass rush is going to come from that spot. Because the ends are going to get chipped. One of the ends is going to get chipped. We don't know what Davenport's going to do. We don't know what Houston's going to do on that side. So Hutch is getting chipped for sure in a lot of those third down situations. So we got to rely on that other 3-tech position that's in the one. So
yeah,
I'm with you. The defensive line needs work.
Man, that's the thing to me. When we drafted the corners, I'm like, all right, that's great, but
but look at it like this way. This is why I look at it, bro.
That secondary needed push bad.
Going to last year, you were probably like me, like, why in the fuck are they making Aleem McNeil lose a bunch of weight? Like, why?
No, actually, I understood that, and that was his choice to lose weight, and it paid dividend. I thought, and people not gonna like this, but this is just the reality for me. Aleem McNeil was our best defensive lineman last year. He was literally our best, and when he went down, stuff got real for us because, like you said, it was quarterback draws up the middle with the quarterbacks running on
they're
us.
using Bugs and fucking Benito as a rotation, and they're both like probably the worst pass rushing 3 techs I've ever seen.
They wouldn't even put Bugs on the field. Let's keep it real. They was keeping Bugs off the field a lot last year for no reason.
That's why he got mad and wanted out.
That's why we signed a Lualau going into the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's why he got mad and wanted out because he got tired of the favoritism. And he was trying to be quiet in the media about it, but he was like, man, just go ahead and get rid of me. Because y'all out here, these people not playing better than me, but y'all got these favoritism. That's the politics coming in play.
I mean, Bugs was mid as fuck too, bro. So, yeah.
Luke, we only got a couple more subjects.
I didn't do shit at the Chiefs.
Luke, we got a couple more subjects. I know you're ready to go to sleep. You've been working all day.
I'm fighting the power, bro.
I'm fighting, guys.
He's getting that second wind.
All right, next person we're going to talk about is a player that I hope and believe that he's going to have a breakout season. J-Mo ready to set it off? Y'all think J-Mo ready to set it off? Before y'all answer that, let's see what he had to say in this interview.
Season. My mindset is just being just to get better, do better than I did last year. Help the team out a little bit more in a lot of ways. But hearing that come from my coach, it means a lot because I've been working and I've been putting in work ever since the season ended. So I feel good hearing that.
What does it do for your mindset when you got no restrictions, not injury, no suspension, or you can really come in and just focus on football? What does that do for your mental going into a year?
It does a lot, because this is my 3rd year. This really my 1st year going out there, getting real reps with the ones and, moving around with the ones, getting reps with JG and things like that, just moving around, getting the right splits and everything, just feeling comfortable, So it's my 1st year doing all that, and it just feel good going into it.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah.
All right, now he said his coach made a remark. Let's see what Dan Campbell had to say about J-Mo.
Yeah, look, there again, all right, so we started this thing, back in April, and, you got phase 1 for a couple of weeks. Then we've been on the grass for 3 weeks in phase 2, which has been routes on air and fundamentals and individual and doing all this. And then we're 2 practices in. And if you said, give me one player that is the most improved from that start to finish in that time, J-Mo would be that guy right now. All right, he is a man on a mission, and I'm just going to leave it at that. All right.
Now, once again, the question was, y'all think J-Mo ready to set it off this year? Because he's coming in the camp like he ready is. Sky, John, let y'all go first. And what are y'all expectations from J this year?
I expect him to be our full-fledged wide receiver number 2.
One. He got to be the one.
I don't think he's going to be number 1. The
Amon Ra is always going to be one.
The offense.
Whatever. Ones don't play the slot, but go ahead.
It's just what it is.
He played just as much outside.
And the ones do play the slot. CeeDee Lamb played the slot a whole lot. I know he had one.
Right, exactly.
I'm wrong. Don't be.
Hey, but we stay still 1K out of J-Mo this year.
Yeah, I need that easy.
You know what I mean? 1K easy.
And against some of the teams that have really bad CB2s, he needs to put in work against those guys. We need to see a good route tree this year out of him.
Okay, let's take this in consideration. His first year, he didn't play that much because he was hurt.
Yep.
Second year, he had the suspension for the gambling and everything. He had to sit out. He never got to do OTAs with the team. He never had to do off-season. He was away from the facility. So this year, he got a whole time on OTAs, training camp, everything. You get that deep ball connection with golf down pat. I think J-Mo going to set it off this year. What you think, Luke?
I wasn't a fan of J-Mo when we drafted.
What?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of J-Mo when we drafted him. Because I did not understand how you can draft a player who hurt when you needed people to play that first year, and he was hurt. And then the next year he comes in, he gets suspended. He gets off the suspension. He comes in. Everybody wants to keep talking about the 49er games, and Josh Reynolds dropped the pass, and so did Amon-Ra St. Brown. But you know what else happened in that game? J-Mo dropped a clean, open touchdown. And you know one of the other storylines that came out from OTAs? Another clean, nobody pushing on him, drop touchdown. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan when it comes to the receiver position in general. I hope he does set it off like how you believe, Bandit. But as far as I'm concerned, I think we're gonna see J-Mo exit and stage left if he don't explode this season. That's just my observation.
You just hurt my heart, Tori. What you think J-Mo going to do this year?
This is J-Mo's first year getting the real shot. First year, he played 3-4 games his first season at the end of the year, and they were still very limited because he's coming off the fucking injury. Second year, he comes in, they start trusting him. You can watch it from film. J-Mo starts doing what he needs to do. He starts blocking because in this offense, if you don't block, you're not getting the ball.
He's a hell of a blocker.
He is, and he's not very big, and he just be wailing his body. It's great, but you see him do the things he needs to start doing. He starts making these adjustments to come back to the ball if he's underthrown. You see him adjust in the touchdown. Like, you see him making these steps slowly but surely from the beginning of last season to the end. And when it set it off in the 49er game, when he got that touchdown right away, Ford Field was ecstatic. Fucking Detroit loves J-Mo. Nobody wants him to fail. And it's so much love for him. And J-Mo's another hill I die on other than Jack. But it's his first time getting to do all these things. And Dan Campbell's seeing him working hard. And you've seen him work hard if you watch the film on him.
Tori, I'm sorry for you with this question. You think J-Mo will go have over 1,000 yards? Yes or no?
Yeah.
John and Scott.
Wait. Did you say 1,000?
Over 1,000 yards for J-Mo. Luke, yes or no?
No, you got to ask everybody else on this one. This one, I like, you putting money on that?
No. I don't gamble.
I'm saying like if a person believes that he's going over 1,000, would you put money on that?
I would.
Well, since you're in a given mood, Tori, the Luke G Foundation needs some money. He broke over here. So if you just want to give it away, I'm more than capable of accepting the donation that you're willing to hand us.
There won't be any donation. He'll do it.
Over 1,000?
Over 1,000.
All right, listen. If that happens, I will run back in and say, look, she told me and I didn't listen. No, I would not bet that. I would bet the under on that all day.
I'll take it. Have you seen him working? He works with Jared out in Cali on the off season too. He's one of those guys. They have that connection. Jared's been talking about him in most of his recent interviews, how J-Mo's coming on. He's trusting J-Mo.
Not only that, when J-Mo first came here, bro, they was like slowly intimating him into the offense. Like,
this is J-Mo's. He's getting thrown in full everything, and they have that chemistry now. And I truly believe Josh Reynolds' catches affected J-Mo's. Josh Reynolds, I've said this for ever since I've been on the show. He was Jared's safety net besides Saint.
100%. That's why
Reynolds
when everybody got hyped, that he was gone, I'm like, y'all realize that he was like a reliable target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been with each other for that long. He trusts him, but now he's gone. J-Mo he's not going to take that spot. He's not going to be our ex, but he's going to be getting a lot more looks.
He's going to be the next story. John and Sky, y'all think J-Mo going over 1,000 yards this year?
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I think he gets it. I mean, I don't say it'd be a lot. I'll say he just reaches it. So I'll say, like, come week 18, he needs like 70 yards to break 1,000.
Sky.
I mean,
spotlight's on you, buddy.
I know it's just to me it's tough. The one thing everybody says is, he has a dropping problem, I guess to say, whatever it may be. I think in a good situation, when he's the number 2 or number 1, I think that he could definitely get 1,000 yards. People would say that another guy that's got 1,000 yard season on a good team when he was a number 1 or number 2 guy, Hollywood Brown, just because he's a burner and he's dropped a fuck ton of balls in the NFL. So it's not like an unspeakable thing to say 1,000 yards, especially in an offense where you're definitely the legit number 2 guy out of this offense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why I say he's gonna get it. And it's really 3 reasons. I'm gonna give you all 3 reasons right now.
The running game.
St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Laporta. I don't see how he's getting over 1,000 when they're going to be utilizing those 3 a whole lot more. He's literally a bona fide, let me just threaten you with the deep ball guy. That's what he is.
He's not, because if
he was doing slants, he was running or end around and everything else like that. Like,
if he gets that step on you, he's gone. You're not catching J-Mo.
My thing is this year, Luke, though, I think he's just going to get a lot more yak yards than he has in the past. Because the routes and combinations that he's going to be running are going to be those opportunities. Either it being a go ball, like you said, or something across the middle that typically Reynolds would run. He would catch it and run for 5 yards. Well, J-Mo catches it in the open field. That is not 5 yards. That turns into a touchdown or 30 yards.
Yeah.
So there's that's what I'm saying. Like, I really think that if he takes over the Josh Reynolds role in its entirety, right, he will get those opportunities to get the ball and get the yak, because that's what truly he is. He's a catch in space guy and then run away from everybody. That's where he's best at. That's what he was good at Alabama at.
all right, next subject. We got 2 more subjects. Luke, you can go to bed. Let's talk about a little bit about this defense. Davis, is he a true number 1 corner? Now, I asked this question because in his interview, he was talking big shit.
I mean, I'm about to just lock up. Excuse my French, but I'm about to lock number 1 receivers up, get my hands on some balls, get the ball back to our offense, and play physical. It was definitely something to look forward to, knowing the grit that they had, even when we played them in the playoffs. And both times, actually, it was like you can tell that it was a different Detroit team. And something to really be excited about, knowing that this team is long for a Super Bowl and so long, and we have the chance to do it this year. So that was definitely a point for me to come here.
He said that because that big block that Reynolds laid down on his ass when he first played, goddamn. So he knew we had that grit. You feel me? Craig Reynolds came and fucked him up, bro. But Scott, you think he's gonna be a number 1 corner through the whole season? And if he's a number 1 corner, is he gonna be a shutdown corner?
I mean, if he backs up the shit he's talking, I mean, he's done all right. And man, we're gonna run a lot of man this year because they went and got the guys that they needed. So I mean, it really just depends on what Terrion does too. Terrion could be the number 1. You don't draft a guy like that and not consider him possibly the number 1 corner, especially if he goes out there and fucking locks everybody down he plays against. So what
don't forget that he drafted the cornerback in the second round too.
Guy, or is there just 2 really good corners on each side?
John, same question.
About the same. I mean, I think he starts off as the number 1 corner. Does he continue the whole season as the number 1? I don't know. We'll have to see what Arnold does. I mean, he is our first round pick. So
don't forget that second round pick. He was a corner.
Yeah. He'll slide. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. He'll slide inside. But Arnold will be on the outside for sure. But we'll see how it is. Right now, he is the number 1. So he's gonna check all the number 1s coming out right the first few weeks.
Tori,
I'm with Sky and John on this. Right now, he is our number 1 corner. Can he lock down guys? Yeah, he can. Will he not? He's still gonna have mistakes. I'm not gonna get mad if things happen. He's human.
If he come out and play like Cam Sutton, you're gonna be pissed.
Oh yeah, that's a different level. Okay,
no way.
No.
No fucking way.
But it's gonna depend on what these rookies are gonna do.
Luke, I know you about to kill him. I got a feeling in my soul you got to kill him. Is he gonna be the number 1 corner? And if he is, gonna be a shutdown corner, and it's gonna be for the whole year.
The Lions don't have a shutdown corner on the roster, and I'm a Lions fan, but I'm also a Seahawks and Bucks fan. Yeah, so I've watched Davis a lot, and I'm telling you right now that he's a faster version of Cam Sutton.
Oh God, please don't.
And he's going to have moments where he's not going to get burnt as much as Cam Sutton on deep balls, but on those guys who are really good with route running, yeah, he's going to take some L's. But technically, again, this is where the politics come in. That he's going to be the number one corner, and so there are going to be a lot of people who are going to come into the chat and come into different arenas and say things like, "Oh well, he went up against Jamar Chase, and Chase said he's the best corner he went against." I can care less what your buddy said about you. I'm not being funny, but I've watched him, and I've watched him, and I'm just. We're not drafting all these cornerbacks just because this guy is the answer. That was very strategical. So, is he going to be number one corner?
I thought they traded for him, or he could mentor them two guys. To get, you know what I mean,
they didn't do it for that neither. They traded for him because they wanted a. You got to watch the patterns. They try to put a veteran at every position or group, so that way they can have a leader there. And they draft a lot of people who are leaders because they feel. If you put a room of leaders inside of a room of leaders, you get a lot of thinkers and people who can
iron sharpen his iron.
Yeah, so, but he gonna have some games where y'all gonna be like, yeah, man, he amazing. He gonna have some games where y'all gonna be like, get him the F out of town. So it's he's a faster version of Cam Sutton. That's what I see. But he's technically right now cornerback one.
Our last subject before we get to our last subject, I gotta do some promo. Hey, we got 245 people in here watching, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with us. So why don't y'all just take a second, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You feel me? It only take a second. All right, our last topic. Myself off the screen. Everybody on drinking the Kool-Aid of Detroit. And RG3, I think he even drunk it too.
Catch me outside. How about that? Doesn't apply to the Lions this year because they only play 3 games outdoors the entire season. That's incredible. So everyone's asking me, hey, is this the time for the Lions? Can the Lions finally get over the hump and win the Super Bowl? Can they? You better believe they can. Look at it this way. Jared Goff, the man, comes over from the Rams. He's a cast out. Guess what? He establishes himself as a franchise quarterback, gets paid. Amon-Ra St. Brown has 75 million wide receivers drafted before him, dyes his hair blue. The sun God.
That was not Amon-Ra St. Brown in that picture he showed either.
Catch me outside. How about that? Doesn't apply to the Lions. Catch me outside. How about that?
Well, that was some technical difficulties. But yeah, basically he's on the Kool-Aid. He's been drinking the Kool-Aid. Is it our time for our Lions to legitimately win the Super Bowl this year? Do you think it's our time, Tori, this year?
Yeah, it could have been last year if we played half a game better. And what we've done is we took that roster last year and did nothing but improve it in areas that were pretty rough. Like our cornerback room, awful, and we still were in the NFC Championship half a game away. But they are definitely there. And this schedule, other than the week 5, being inside, it does help. We saw what happened 2 years ago in Carolina. Turns out the field wasn't even safe by the NFL. But most people are going to want to play inside for most of their games. Who actually wants to go outside when you can barely feel yourself and just get hit?
Have you ever ran on turf before?
Yeah, I played football for 7 years.
I'd rather play outside than play on turf.
When it's freezing cold and you can not feel yourself.
You live in Detroit and I'm from Ohio. It's always cold.
I don't go outside when it's cold because I don't like the cold.
You live in Detroit. It's always cold, so we should be used to that.
I stay inside where it's warm.
Luke, do you think this is our legitimate chance for us to win the Super Bowl this year?
No, I thought last year was, and it drove me crazy. I looked at that schedule and I was like, oh God, this is as easy as it get. Sell out. Go and get a bunch of 1-year deals from legitimate people. We can get to the Super Bowl, and we didn't do that. We worked the schedule as it was. It wasn't that good, which is cool. But this is gonna be a real tough year. There's some games in this schedule that are such a trap game that people are expecting these teams to be garbage this year, and I'm like, Yeah, don't get caught up in what happened last year. I'm telling you, it's some changes going on. So, but for me, the goal is to get to a Super Bowl. That's just the reality. Get to a Super Bowl, 100%. But the highest chance I thought was last year.
So you think we ain't gonna do it this year?
No, I don't have us going to a Super Bowl this year.
Luke, I thought you was my friend, man. You supposed to be my friend.
Listen, I try so hard not to be such a realist, but I'm just a realist. And I look at this schedule. I expect us to win a bunch of games, but I'm telling you, to me, the biggest issue that I think holds us back is our linebackers. The linebackers, and are we going to get some serious play from the D line? I am still concerned about the D line. And
See, this is what's gonna help our linebacker. We gonna cut Rodrigo, you feel me? And we're gonna sign that boy from Ohio State. You feel me? That missile and everything gonna be cool.
No, they're not gonna cut Rodrigo because he's a part of that politics I was talking about. He's one of those favorites they got. So they're not gonna cut him. There's no way they're cutting him.
Just sign him at fullback and cut Cabinion
then that might happen.
Cabinion is a free agent. Cabinda's a free agent right now. So
you know that might happen with them like keeping him as a fullback, but I don't see them cutting him. In my opinion, because I don't think that it what's the word I want to use? I don't think it benefits them to cut them. You know what I mean? Like you be cutting them for what reason exactly?
Cabinion don't even play. He can't catch. He don't know how to run. All he do is make goofy faces in the locker room during meetings.
Listen, this fan base love Enrod. Every time I said something about Enrod that was negative, I got chewed out. My channel got 187 thumbs down just because I said he was a mad player. So look, I know when to let the cancel culture have their moment. If they think Enrod's the second coming of Jesus, let it be. But he's not getting cut.
I don't think he'll get cut either because he can play linebacker or any. He'll be the fullback because Cabinda's a free agent right now. So.
Yeah, but see, I'm gonna tell you why the fullback thing don't even like. More I think about it, it don't even track for me because they like that Vaki. That's how you say his name, Vaki.
I agree.
They like him, and I think he can do a little bit of that. He's shown that he can be a football player. He can play fullback, running back, special teams, and he will fit that mode perfectly. But you got to look at the linebacker room. It is very thin. They are not letting Enrod go.
It is thin because I don't know what to do with Derek Barnes either.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm a Derek Barnes fan, but I'm also a realistic. Derek Barnes, he's played okay, but he's had moments where they just don't play him enough. I'm sorry,
after what happened in Dallas, I wouldn't play him enough either, bro. He whipped on it. That was so bad, bro.
Everybody has a bad play, right? We always remember one bad play. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, he whipped on that. He got an interception to close the game out. So now what? Like, come on, like everybody has a bad play. We do this with a lot of our players. We did this with Josh Reynolds. We did this with Jared Davis. They get one bad play, and we just forget about all the good stuff that they did. So it's like, okay,
I don't remember any good plays from Jared Davis. That was a bad example.
I'll take Josh Reynolds as an example. Yeah, Jared Davis.
You don't remember any good plays from Jared Davis? No. Okay. Yeah, that lets me know what I need to know then. That y'all wasn't paying attention.
I was paying
attention. Sky and John, I'm gonna let y'all answer the question. Is it a Super Bowl year for Lions?
I honestly think the next couple of years could be all Super Bowl years for us.
Ooh, back to back. I like that.
So
pieces are there.
Yeah. Our division is going to be a lot tougher. Luke, I agree with Luke that there is a lot of trap games this year that are going to be kind of sneaky, depending on where that team is at in the season. So I always think we're going to lose in Chicago. So
we barely beat them last year.
I know, bro.
And you know the scary part about it? Like whenever I hear people talk about the Lions and they talk about, oh, we're gonna have this offense. I'm just like, there's another side of the ball we got to look at here. And I went through and I wrote down all the names of the quarterbacks we play, and I'm telling you, I'm like, yeah, all of them can run. There ain't a quarterback on this list that don't run.
My thing about it is we depended on our offense, like you said, but our offense has been dependable. You know what I'm saying? So like they are working on the defense. They didn't work on the defensive line, but I think I can't say they didn't work on it because they did make a couple signings for it. So they are working on it to see if this shit will work out, but they didn't put as much stress onto it like you think they should have. I don't know if I think I would have put much stress on the cornerback room as they did with the overhaul, but because I think Kindle is fine, would have been fine as a cornerback 3. And to me, Ennis is a great corner, but it was kind of overkill, to be honest with you. In my eyes, this is my eyes, but
hot take. Y'all ain't gonna like that. I think Enos is gonna be better than Arnold.
I don't think that at all.
Let me tell you why. I have a neck for looking at people who do things outside the box, and this dude is just physical. He likes to lay hands on you, I'm telling you, I think Rex Straw is going to be a better corner than Arnold.
Not if you don't. I've seen a lot of highlights where he dropped a lot of interceptions. He reminds me of CJ GJ.
He's gonna get work inside, Luke, this year. Trust me on that.
You talking about Rex Straw?
Oh yeah,
they all are. Even Arnold's going to get it. That's they already said that they're giving those guys they got to earn their playing time, and I get it. They all say that, but we
still got a mick for the speedy wide receivers. I mean, that's really why, because I mean, we did sign a bunch of 4.5 guys, but a Mick is still the fastest guy we have. He's a 4.4 guy. So,
John, same question.
And I trust him.
Yeah, the pieces are there, but I know.
What? Speak up.
Talking about the cornerback, big guy.
No. Talking about, is it a Super Bowl? Do you think the Lions can win a Super Bowl this year? Yes or no?
Bro. That's what I said. Go. The pieces are there. Like I said, the pieces are there.
Guy,
for a
tired like Luke.
Tired like Luke. Yeah, hell yeah. No, but the pieces are there. For us to win a Super Bowl, the pieces are there.
For sure. Hey, man, there's 154 people here, man. I appreciate y'all coming to speak on Friday night with us, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. I'm going to let y'all know where everybody from before we get out of here. Hey, Luke.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you coming on here, man. You know, every time you on here and you this guy, y'all debates be great, man. I love it, man. Let the people know where they can find you at.
I'm on Luke G's Field Review. I talk all things, and the only things I talk is Lions on that channel. I do a lot of live shows where if you disagree with something I say, I'll let you come on right then and there and talk your talk to me and tell me how I'm wrong.
That's how it started.
And get it popping. I don't mind the conversation. But for the most part, man, it's just a channel that is for the Lions, battle Lions. But just know when you come there, I'm not finna sugarcoat it. I'm not finna tell you we got the world's greatest offensive line, and I'm just not doing all these things. I'm gonna tell you the truth based on the facts. And so, come over there and show some love with me and rock out with me for the live shows. And then, like I said, I got some videos coming up that I've been working on. Some are gonna be controversial because I can already see. One of them you kind of brought up yourself when you talked about the politics in terms of Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston. So I had noticed that, and so yeah, that's gonna be one of them. But yeah, just come check me out on Luke G's Field Review and hit me up on IG at Phil G's, and let's talk ball.
The first ever Lions channel I was on was Luke G's, man. Accept me with open arms. Tori, let the people know where they can find you at.
You can find me on Twitter at TorXOO, here on Fridays at 10 and on LFR.
Yes, ma'am. John and Sky and Little John walking through the forest. I know we can find you all right, man.
You already know where you can find us at. I will say this. I appreciate everybody stopping in. Make sure you jump over to the YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, because we want to keep doing content for you guys, and we're going to keep moving on with this shit.
Shout out and let them know what days y'all come on. Y'all be on here.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're out here on Friday nights. You already know. Everybody already knows about What Up, though. And then
about LFR.
Wednesday nights we got LFR coming out with a live show now, along with the podcast that's already on Spotify. So we're just gonna do a live show with it now. So make sure you tune in Wednesday nights as well, so you can just get straight Lions talk from me and Tori. And then, Luke, I appreciate you coming on tonight, man.
Hey,
Doing some hardball talk. I love different opinions. I love everybody seeing the different sides of this, the way it could go. Because at the end of the day, well, me and Luke are just talking a spectacle, but it could go literally either fucking way.
Oh yeah, and for me, one of the things that I always tell people is I don't say things for a hot take. I say it because I think it's gonna age well. So I'm looking at patterns. I'm looking at patterns to see like certain things. And like I said, I want to make sure I say this. I'm not necessarily angry that we kept Jared Goff. I just felt that we should have allowed him to play this last year out, see if he can repeat that consistency. And if he could, then you pay him. But if he couldn't and he don't play, then so be it. That was the whole purpose of you getting the guy who's mobile. But
I disagree because I say pay the man after everything he did and what he brought to the city. You feel me? So we disagree on some stuff, but that's my quarterback. That's
your quarterback.
Scott, John, man, let him know where they can find you at, man.
Oh, no, you can find me on Token J on Twitter. Other than that, I'm right here, Lions Fan Report. I'm in here, what up, dope, every once in a while when I can be. That's where I'm
We're gonna do our own Buckeye show, bro.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get that done too. Definitely.
Boo.
Yeah.
Ohio State Fan Report.
Sure.
Boo.
But yeah, y'all know who I am. I'm Bandit, man. Everything Detroit Lion Fan Report. You always see me here. 257 people in here, man. Please hit that subscribe button, man. And with that said, man, I appreciate y'all coming spending our Friday night with us, man. Now it's time to go to bed. With that said, man, we out.